This is a recap on the Candyman. Anthony McCoy, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, is a visual craftsman living in Chicago with his better half, workmanship exhibition chief Brianna Cartwright, Tiona Paris. One evening, Brianna's sibling Troy, Nathan Stewart Jarrett, shares the metropolitan legend of Helen Lyle, Virginia Madsen, a white alumni understudy who went on a killing binge in the mid-1990s. The story goes that her frenzy finished in a huge fire outside the Cabrini Green tasks, so, all in all, she endeavored to forfeit a baby kid. The occupants had the option to safeguard the youngster from Helen before she died in the fire in an obvious demonstration of self-immolation. Crazy about new flashes to turn his career around, Anthony shuts down this story and wanders Cabrini Green for inspiration. He finally gets a chance with William Burke, Coleman Domingo, a laundromat owner who introduces him to the legend of Candyman. During his childhood, Burke had a bizarre experience with Sherman Fields, Michael Hargrove, trapped by the man police admitted was responsible for throwing a cutter into a sweep that ended up being the hand of a young man to a white woman. Burke inadvertently letting police know he was on a post, causing them to beat the life out of Sherman, after which Sherman defended himself while several children got candy made with very sharp metal. Legend has it that repeating the name Candyman several times before the crystal appears causes Sherman's soul to reflect, so, nonetheless, he shows up in the statue and kills anyone who said his name. Inspired by this, Anthony promotes a craft show about the Candyman legend and grandstands at Brianna's show, but is disappointed when he doesn't get the response he expects. That evening, one of Brianna's co-workers and her lover are killed by the Candyman after mentioning his name several chapters. Mess in front of the mirror. Their bodies are discovered by Brian in the first part of the day. In the interim, Anthony starts to go through an actual change originating from a honeybee sting he experienced on his hand while strolling around Cabrini Green. Anthony before long visits his mom, Vanessa Williams, who uncovers he was the child Helen Lyle saved from the fire the night she kicked the bucket. However, truly Helen saved him from Candyman, who stole him and wanted to forfeit him in the fire. She never enlightened him since she maintained that Anthony should get an opportunity at a typical life. Anthony leaves surrendered to his destiny and meanders the line places of Cabrini Green. Worried about Anthony, Brianna reviews him, referencing that he originally caught wind of Candyman from Burke, so she heads to Cabrini Green in order to track down him. When there, Burke stifles Brianna and takes her to a neglected church, where Anthony has entered a fugue state as his body keeps on disintegrating. Burke uncovers that besides the fact that he saw the police beat Sherman the tar out of, however, he likewise saw Sherman return later as the Candyman, after which he butchered his more established sister when she brought him in the restroom reflection of their loft. Brianna figures out how to get away from the congregation and is pursued into the Cabrini Green line houses by Burke, whom she violently cuts to death. Anthony shows up and implodes into her arms as the police, tricked to the scene by Burke, appear and shoot Anthony to death. Brianna is cuffed and set toward the rear of a police SUV, where an official endeavors to scare her into concurring that Anthony incited the other official into shooting him. Brianna utilizes the vehicle's rearview mirror to call Anthony, presently Candyman, and he slaughters each cop at the scene. As more police show up, Candyman assumes the presence of Daniel Robitaille, Tony Todd, and gives Brianna a solitary guidance: "Tell everybody."